Hi and welcome to switching from Android to iPhone in 2021. My name is Brian, your tech friend, and in this video that I think will be the third out of three, I suspect, because the first one I'll just talk about the actual setup I went through, and the second one is about my initial 24 hours, and now this one is after 2 weeks. Let's just start off by talking about some of the physics of the phone. Okay, first off, there's the notch. If I move my head, perhaps it will zoom on it. You could think that that is not a big deal, but where I found it to be quite some deal, I'll show to this quite quickly here. So you can see now in this game, as soon as I drive, you can see the names of my co-drivers or my peers. Actually just kind of disappears out of the left sometimes. You see it there. So there I can't sometimes see the names probably. I know, of course, this is just a minor thing, but this could be an issue also in other games or other programs. Okay, but the physics of this phone is just superb. Now after 2 weeks I've been totally accustomed to having this in my pocket. It's superb in the pocket, of course, you knew that. And it's just so lightweight, you instantly get attached to the feel and the weight of this device because it's just so nimble and so easy to use. Oh yeah, and as you just heard, the sound is really good on this phone. It's not like the best of the best, I should say, but it's really good. And that's kind of the thing with this entire phone, that like it's good to really good. Everything is superb, of course, the CPU, but then again, you don't notice the CPU. When there's something just working that hard, that excellent, and then you never complain because you never notice anything, right? Okay, another weird thing I would like to say about this phone is that the touch of the screen is like this phone, the Samsung A10. It's an old 1 to 2 year old, very cheap Samsung phone, and the screen has exactly the same haptic, tactile feel to it. I don't know why, because of course this is like the 4 times hardness of the previous iPhone 11, so perhaps it's just something, a coincidence of a material feeling exactly the same way. But that's just for a nerd like me. If you know the A10, then you know how this screens feel. It's kind of funny, but again, then I put us on some pencil glass, and then everything is good to go and very, very solid feeling now. Coming up, an absolutely superb feature of this phone later, and also a lot of information on the battery life now. I've been using it for 2 weeks, okay? But first off, if you are coming from Android, and if you are watching this video, get acquainted, like I just did there, to all the features of the phone. The reason why the Mini is extra superbly good is because you can actually like reach the top of the screen. So if you want to get your latest notifications, you can just swipe from the top left of the button, from the top, and then you can see some your latest notices and stuff. And if you swipe from the top right of the phone, you get your control center, right? You can adjust the Wi-Fi, also screen recording, by the way. You have to press that long to activate recording of voice also. Just keep that in mind. If you swipe down in the middle, you get like series suggestions. That's typically stuff you use a lot, or you use the latest. If you swipe up, let's say you got a program open. Let's say you got this TV time. It's a TV guide schedule. You swipe up to close it, right? Super easy. If you want to multitask and switch between programs, you swipe up from the button slowly, and then they become like this. I hope you can see it. Yeah. And then you can just navigate through all the different things you have had open, like the live score, football matches and stuff, and you just press it, and as you can see, everything is just working very fluidly, and it's superb, okay? So get acquainted. Hey, by the way, I want to show you the most important feature. This, now that you are actually leaving the back button behind, you can also test it if you have tested the Android swiping gestures menu. Then you are already kind of acquainted. If you want to swipe one step back, and I know this is a big feature for all Android users, you have to swipe from the left, from the very edge of the screen slowly, and then you get one back. And it takes some getting used to work it out, but when you have, it's superb. And it works on almost all screens. They've kind of adjusted it to work with most things. Of course, there's still some apps where you've got to reach all the way to the top to make it happen. But that is something where they really come closer to the Android user experience. Okay, so, and that leads me to another gigantic point of this. The feel I get when using the UI is that they have kind of trying to embrace you. Gone are the old days of where you had to have iTunes to get anything to work, and you had to do every single thing the Apple way to do anything. Now you can actually you can connect this to the computer and choose to transfer pictures like you know from Daisy Map in your Android. So you can just transfer pictures and videos like that way if you prefer that. So it is not something that has to go through iTunes anymore. So I really feel like they've kind of embraced all the small things that you like from Android. They've come closer. They've come closer to Android, and Android come closer to the good features from iOS. And that you can feel it, and it shows. Just one little hiccup that's still there, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. So, if you go into Photos, I'll just show you this real quick. Please take a note of that it actually starts from the bottom. And what you want to do as an Android user, of course, you swipe all the way to the top to see the most recent pictures. But those are not the most recent pictures. Those are the first pictures I took. So you get instantly annoyed. And there is a reason for that. I don't know why they've chosen that. But the recent folder and the favorites folder of your pictures, you cannot choose if you want to have a descending or ascending date on your pictures. So they always start with the newest from the bottom, and then you swipe like down to get to the oldest. So it's completely vice versa of what you have in Android. But for some reason, if you make a new folder, then you can choose ascending or descending order, and you can choose it by, if you press the three dots up in the top right, you can choose sort, and then you will. A lot more of that if you press this button up here. But now on the battery. These are my battery results after the first 5 days. I averaged about 5 hours in screen on time on this phone. Yeah, and also it lasted me every single day. So there wasn't a day where I didn't have juice back. So if I take as a comparison the last 10 days, you can see here I'm averaging about 3 hours now. So that's what I'm averaging when things have started to become a bit more normal. Of course, I used the phone a lot in the start, so 3 hours. But again, that's super instrumental of how your usage are on a daily basis. And now for the top feature that I told you about in the start that I've been waiting to share with you. It is a tremendous relief to be able, wait for it, I actually called my best friend to tell her I'm gonna hang up on you. And she said, why are you calling me to tell me you're gonna hang up? Because now I can hang up on you. And all Android users, you know what I'm talking about. It's so difficult on an Android phone to actually hang up, because then you pull that phone away from you and the screen turns black. Or you press one button at the side, but it doesn't hang up. And I know you can dedicate buttons on the side to hang up, but still there are some situations where the software you're using, messes that feature up. So I bet you know what I'm talking about, all Android users. Now you're actually able to, as soon as you remove it from your head, you can see the screen and you can hang up on people. I haven't been able to hang up on people for the last 6 years. Since my HTC Sensation XL, which was, by the way, an Android phone, by the way. But then I had a Samsung and all other phones, and I haven't been able to hang up, like, not for at least without juggling the phone for like 20 seconds or something. Hang up, goddammit. Well, this concludes my third episode of switching from Android to iOS in 2021. And the thing I bet you want to know the most is now the time to switch from Android to iOS? And I would say yes, it is. they are now so close that the odd things that are still in this system, like if you're typing, you can see there are no comma, there are no dots, but what you want to do is blah 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 blah, and then you hold and press down this button and you just swipe up to the comma and then you made a comma. I know it's a bit odd, but all these small things you get accustomed to. So this phone, and especially iPhone mini, I would recommend this very much. In German it's actually called a handy, a cell phone. So this is the first real handy we've seen in a long time with these kind of specs on it as this iPhone has. It is the epitome of a handy, I should say, and I recommend this highly, especially the mini version, as you can always reach for the top and all these various controls, you know, the control center, the message center, and what else you have. You can do that with one finger. You can see I did it there. If I was gonna do it like extra high up, I was gonna move my hand first before I can swipe down for one-handed usage. My name is Brian and you've been watching the third episode. Please check out the 2 other episodes that came before. Your tech friend, and I'll see you in the next one, and have a very lovely day. And I'll switch on, continue back to watching the goddamn Super Bowl.